Okay, so today we want to talk about cardiovascular health, but we all already know that for our health, right, the heart, yeah, our cardiovascular system is extremely important, right? However, still many of us having some cardiovascular issue, for example, like high cholesterol or high blood pressure, and so on. And even for some of the people, yeah, they do take care of their health very much. They practice healthy diet, they exercise, they do not smoke, they do not have any bad habits, but they might also get heart attack suddenly without any symptom in advance. Okay, so as yesterday we have TTT. Then for those who have joined our TTT have already know more about the upcoming version of Life Extra Young, right? So today, we are not going to talk about Life Extra Young, but we are focusing on reducing inflammation to maintain a good cardiovascular health for our body. All right, so it's like the complementary products that can support your heart health as well, yeah? All right, so before we start, let's check how your blood look like. So most of you did a blood test before, right? Like body checkup or maybe blood donation, correct or not? And most probably you will see your blood look like this. Okay, this is a normal one. After you take your blood, it will look like this, and after going to the centrifuge one, then it will become like 2-layer, but it's all normal. However, for some of the people, their blood maybe look like this, the yellowish color on the top layer. Okay, so do you know what is the yellowish one? That's all actually excess lipid in the blood. So imagine if there is excess lipid in our blood and it's too much, it will actually lead to inflammation. And the more lipid over there, the bigger the plaque develop. So at the end, what's the result? It will actually trigger blood clot and develop into heart attack, or maybe even not heart attack, but will also develop into other cardiovascular diseases. That's how the heart disease and the cardiovascular disease develop. It's not just only happen in just 1 day or 2 days, but it can develop in several months, even several years, yeah? All right, so that's why we always say that don't wait until you fall into sickness, only you start taking care of your heart health, right? We have to prevent as earlier as we can. Means that when is the best time to start prevention? If you haven't started now is the time, all right? So I believe that most of you have already know how good Life Extra Young can support our heart health. But if you missed the session yesterday, tomorrow we still have a BM session. Okay, you can join if you want to know more. Yeah, but today, since we are focusing on reducing inflammation, so the product I would like to recommend, the first one is Omega. Okay, instead of providing heart healthy nutrients, actually, this product contains high concentration of omega-3 fatty acids. It is actually focusing to reduce the inflammation in our blood vessels. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, the inflammation is one of the main risk factors to trigger all the heart problems, right? That's why we are not only need to the support from a high concentration omega-3 fatty acids, but we also need a product which is high in purity and also with golden ratio. Okay, so which I will explain all this in more details later on. Okay, but before this, do you know why we should take omega-3 fatty acid, especially from a supplement? Okay, so let's see. This is actually the recommendation ratio of omega-6 fatty acid and omega-3 fatty acid intake in our diet. So when we look at the ratio, which means for omega-6, like olive oil, safflower oil, what else? Canola oil, most of the plant oil, yeah? And this also the oil that we usually use for cooking. Okay, so this kind of omega-6 fatty acid is the main fatty acid that we consume through in our diet. Okay, so we should consume 4 times more than omega-3 fatty acids. For example, like deep sea fish, like avocado, most of the people, they don't like this, okay? And also like flaxseed oil. Okay, so 4:1, this is the ratio we recommended. But now, the problem is with our modern diet pattern, yeah, we have already taken too much of omega-6 and not really enough omega-3. So as a result, the ratio of omega-6 and omega-3 in modern diet is 15:1. It's a very, very big difference with the recommendation, right? So when this ratio become extremely imbalanced, yeah, it will actually cause more inflammation and results in heart attack or other inflammatory diseases. Okay, so for example, what kind of diseases is caused by inflammation? Actually, quite many, you know, like allergy or asthma or autoimmune diseases like SLE, type 1 diabetes, even a joint pain, arthritis, what else? Bowel diseases, and many, many, many others. This is because when omega-6 fatty acid, the ratio is imbalanced, omega-6 fatty acids become too much, it will produce the pro-inflammatory substances inside our body. That's why it will lead to inflammation. Okay, so this is why we need to replenish omega-3 fatty acid intake into our diet, so to balance back the ratio. Okay, and the easiest way is from supplementation. All right, and on top of that, you can see from here is EPA and DHA. So these two are the subtypes of omega-3 fatty acids, right? They provide so many benefits here from head to toe, especially to reduce triglyceride. So with this, it can also support heart health and joint health and to balance back our immune reaction, so that you can see all these are the problems that are caused by inflammations, right? So the main function of omega-3 fatty acid is to reduce our inflammation, okay? So, but now the problem is not every fish oil are a good one. All right, so today we are going to dig deeper to let you know how to choose a good fish oil. Okay, so the most important one, of course, we have to make sure it is safe enough, right? Because most of the omega-3 are get from deep sea fish. If we get from our normal diet, we have to take it from the deep sea fish as well, like tuna, like salmon, okay? But a deep sea fish, usually they will contain more contaminants. They will contain more heavy metals. So we have to make sure in a product, those contaminants are removed from the products. Okay, if not, yeah, all these contaminants can cause cancer, can cause reproductive problems or a nervous system disorders, and even acute toxicity. And besides that, actually, omega-3 fatty acid is a highly unstable fatty acid. It is oxidized easily whenever exposed to heat, to light, and maybe other chemicals. Yeah, that's why we do not use fish oil as our cooking oil, right? It is because it will oxidize very, very easily. And when it is oxidized, it will reduce the quality of the oil. So to make sure an omega-3 fatty acid is not being oxidized, we need to choose a lower peroxide value one. Because the lower the value, the fresher the product, the fresher the oil. Okay, so let's see, for omega, yeah, for this product, it is guaranteed that it's absence from all the contaminants, and it has a much lower peroxide value. It's lower than 2. Okay, so with this, you will get a higher purity and higher quality of product. Also with this, you will know that why we always suggest to consume omega-3 fatty acid through a supplement is because even you can take omega-3 from a deep sea fish, right? But since they contains heavy metals, so even we don't recommend somebody that take more than 2 times of deep sea fish every week. So if you want to gain back, to replenish the omega-3 fatty acid in every diet, then you should take from supplement. Okay, and the first one, you have to make sure the purity is good enough. Okay, the second one, we have to look for the concentration. So as you know, the beneficial content in omega-3 fatty acid is only EPA and DHA, right? It's not the whole fish oil product. So it means that the higher percentage of EPA and DHA, the greater benefit it will provide, right? So when we look at a fish oil product, yeah, do remember we need to do some calculation. So many of the product outside, okay, for example, this one, let's see. The fish oil content here is 2000 mg. Seems like quite good, right? Quite a big amount, correct or not? But now we look at the EPA and DHA. The EPA is only 360 mg and DHA is 240 mg, right? So altogether, well, you will get about 600 milligrams of EPA and DHA, which means in the whole soft gel, yeah, the concentration of EPA and DHA is only 30%. And now we look again omega. Omega, although it look like not so many because only 1,200 milligrams, right? But in this 1,200 milligrams, we provide 600 milligrams of EPA and 300 milligrams of DHA. So the concentration is much, much higher, which is 75%. Okay, so it's not the higher amount of fish oil you get, the more benefit you will get, right? Instead, it's the higher concentration and enough amount of EPA and DHA, only the product will provide benefits, yeah? So for this, we really need to thanks to our supercritical CO2 extraction technology. So only with this high standard technology, we can get a higher concentration of EPA and DHA, then only can provide greater benefit. Okay, and lastly, the ratio. So remember, our aim is to reduce inflammation, right? So according to the research, actually high EPA to DHA ratio, which is greater than 1.5, will only provide the benefits to reduce triglyceride, also to reduce blood pressure, and also to reduce C-reactive protein. So this C-reactive protein is actually the marker to determine if there's inflammation inside the body. If your CRP, C-reactive protein, is higher than the normal range, means that there is something wrong inside the body. Your body is under stress, or there's some of the organ have some inflammation inside, okay? So which means with the ratio more than 1.5, it can reduce the inflammation inside the body as well. All right, so for omega, the EPA and DHA in omega, the ratio is considered as a golden ratio, especially to reduce all these markers, yeah? Is 2 to 1, which is greater than 1.5. All right, so with all this uniqueness of omega, it can be one of the best supplement, the best support for your heart health as well. All right. Okay, so for every one of us, remember to take at least one soft gel daily. Okay, but for those who really want to reduce the inflammation, you have some problems that you have to reduce inflammation. So our recommendation is to take 2, but you can make it separately. Okay, and remember to take after meal to enhance the absorption. All right, so this is the first product. Remember, omega-3 is essential for everyone, not only for those who want to reduce inflammation, just because our diet is not enough. All right. Okay, and of course, don't forget our alkaline spirulina. So I believe that all alkanians have already know how strong this product is. Right. And we have also mentioned in previous product talk, which our spirulina is 100% pure spirulina. No filling agents, no additive to form the tablet. Right. And besides this, it can provide complete nutrients, including like carbohydrates and also up to 70% of protein and some essential fatty acids and phytochemicals and antioxidants, so many nutrients, right? So all these are in natural form. And besides that, due to our spirulina comes from a controlled and organic environment, yeah, it is free from all the contaminants and toxins which will harm our body cells. All right. So yeah, like Mun Chung said, it's pure and organic. Okay, but now why spirulina? Why again? So some of the people might think that, yeah, isn't it just providing nutrient which I can also get from vegetable, I can also get from fruits, right? So one of the reasons is actually 95% of us do not eat the recommended daily amount of fruits and vegetables. So now everyone, let's recall what you have eaten today. Yeah, Dr. Hiroko, daily table food. Yes, every one of us, we need spirulina. But let's recall our normal meal first. Okay, what you have eaten today. Like breakfast, if you're having nasi lemak for today, or maybe some of the people you like mee siam, right? Or just normal cereal. But most probably you will miss one meal to get vegetable and fruits, right? And now, how about your lunch? How about your dinner? If you did take vegetable, but how much vegetable you taken? Yeah, that's the problem. Some of the people, they might think that, yeah, I do eat vegetable, I do eat fruits, but how much? Okay, so according to recommendation, we should take at least 3 servings. One serving is about like this, yeah. So 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruits every day. So that most of us, we just don't have enough time to prepare this kind of balanced diet, right? And even for some of the people, they just don't have the practice to eat vegetable because they didn't eat vegetables since young. So they don't have the habit to take more vegetables. Okay. Also, the modern diet, normally we tend to eat more ready-made foods. So these kind of foods, yeah, usually are highly processed, thus also lacking of all the nutrients as well. Okay. So that's why we really need something concentrated in nutrients and easy to consume, safe to consume, some more is natural form, then only to replenish our nutrient needs, right? And luckily, alkaline spirulina, that fits all these criteria. So its nutrient is 1,000 times denser if compared with vegetables and fruits. So which means we don't have to take a huge amount, right? Only 30 tablets daily, you can already get the benefits from it. All right. And on top of that, spirulina is a natural fruit. So the bioavailability is much higher if compared with synthetic multivitamin pills, yeah? So that's why we see it, alkaline spirulina is food for everyone. Correct or not? Okay, so digging deeper. This is how alkaline spirulina can protect our heart health. Okay, first, the nutrients like phycocyanin, like gamma-linolenic acids, GLA, and vitamin B3, all these, they can provide benefit to lower our LDL cholesterol and triglyceride level, which these two are the bad lipid in our blood vessels. And whenever they accumulated too much in the blood vessel, it will actually trigger the inflammation of our body, right? That's why we need proper nutrients to support a healthy cholesterol level. This is the first one. And besides then cholesterol, it also improves our blood pressure level. So for example, this ACE inhibitory peptide, yeah, the full name is angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitory peptides. So this peptide can actually to relax our blood vessels, then only to support a healthy blood pressure level. So in fact, you know, some of the hypertension patients, yeah, they are taking medication, right? They are also taking this kind of substance as their medication. But for spirulina, it contains this substance in natural form. Okay, so spirulina is really, really extraordinary, all right? So how about potassium? We all know that potassium is one of the minerals, right? So besides the relaxing blood vessels, it actually blunting the effects of sodium. So we all know that too much of sodium intake, sodium, which means the minerals inside the salt, yeah? Too much of sodium intake will lead to hypertension. So with consuming enough potassium through spirulina, it can help your body to process out the excess sodium from our body. Okay, so as a result, all these nutrients also helps to lower our blood pressure, so we can prevent cardiovascular disease even better. All right. Okay, last but not least, alkaline spirulina contains many natural pigments like chlorophyll, beta-carotene, phycocyanin, and xanthophylls. Okay, so because of their strong antioxidant properties and anti-inflammatory properties, so consuming alkaline spirulina can also help to reduce the inflammation directly inside the blood vessels. Okay, so remember, just now we have already mentioned, right? One of the keys to prevent heart diseases is to reduce the inflammation. Okay, so this is how spirulina can help. All right, so here's the recommendation consumption of alkaline spirulina. But I know that most of you, including me, I just don't really count the table. But how many it comes to my hand and how many I consume, right? So that's the easiest way. But here's the recommendation for your reference. Okay, so preventing cardiovascular disease is actually an important task for every one of us, especially if you are having unhealthy lipid profile, you have high blood pressure, or unhealthy weight. Okay, and besides that, even though some of you don't have this kind of problems, yeah, we know that due to the busy schedule nowadays, many of us actually having our meal outside and very frequent, right? Also, if you have higher risk of gene, if you are more than 50 years old, yeah, so this is the time for you to take care of your heart health, okay? Yeah, like Andrew asks, does ACE have a similar effect with NO? It's quite different. Yeah, it's quite different because we can go back just now. Which one? Yeah, ACE inhibitor. ACE is actually a substance in our body to make our blood vessel become more tight. But ACE inhibitor is to inhibit the effect. Yeah, so the effect is quite different with NO, but spirulina have this kind of substance. All right. Okay. So now, after we know why we need spirulina, why we need omega, and yesterday we have already know why we need Life Extra Young, right? And the good news is we have promotion for these products now. So as we mentioned earlier, like Alkan Spirulina, Omega, Life Extra Young are the products especially good for our heart health. Okay, and now you can see if you purchase any of these promo pack, you will get one more gummy C. So what is gummy C? Gummy C contain vitamin C, right? So vitamin C is an antioxidant. It also provides anti-inflammatory properties. Okay, so it's not only provide you vitamin C with a delicious flavor, all right? Okay, so it's a very, very, very good combination for those who want to support a healthy cardiovascular system. All right, so remember to grab yours as soon as possible because the promotion is going to end by this month, yeah? Okay, so that's all my presentation for today. So remember everyone, start taking Omega and start taking your spirulina, also LS Young and Gummy C. So with this, you can give your heart a complete support. All right, so take care and thank you.